Hey guys, DRutter here. It's December 12th, 2018. I hope that you're all doing well in YouTube land and Steemit and Facebook, where this will also be posted. And I hope you've had a good year. Of course, it's the end of the year, the calendar year now anyway, and people are celebrating different various winter festivals, including Christmas and so forth. So happy Christmas and other solstice and other things that you may celebrate during the end of the year, and wherever you are. And this video is about Bitcoin, and specifically that the Bitcoin market turns at Christmas. It often makes very pivotal moves on the chart at Christmas, or within a week or two, either direction. Basically at the end of the year, something often, very, very often happens, and I'll show that to you here. This is, I'm sorry, I haven't got with the 90s yet still, but low tech has been kind of part of my success, so I'm gonna keep on going with it. I know I don't do a lot of videos where I'm showing my calculations and stuff like that to people. I don't often, draw this up this way, but I find that when I do, I often learn something myself too. So I've been doing these kind of simplified logarithmic charts for a long time, and they're very useful in predicting the price. General trends, they're not good for trading. I'm not a trader. I don't invest. I'm not trying to create more of something by buying in and out of it. I don't see that as really adding value to anyone except for the house, which in most cases is an exchange or a bank. So I'm not really an investor. I like to, when I stack something, if I'm going to buy it and hold it for a long term, then I will probably rather to purchase it at cheaper prices than higher prices. So I do look at charts, and I have had some good luck, I guess you could call it. Bit of skill in recognizing patterns maybe, but either way I have had quite a long string of fairly good calls in the Bitcoin market. And I'm not an investor, and I'm not your investor specifically, so this isn't advice of any kind. This is just my thoughts, and I post them from time to time. So right now this is the, let's see, 7-year, I guess, 8-year Bitcoin chart. Basically going back to the beginning, there was a little tiny bit of very choppy, between the 1 cent and $4 range when it first came out, that is excluded off of here. I didn't have the data available, and also it's just sort of noise, really. We didn't really have a pattern established in the first couple of months of trading for Bitcoin. But it very rapidly did establish a pattern, and I think you can see it here. This is a logarithmic chart, of course, so the scale going up and down is not the same for each increment of movement. So you can go from this low point here to this point here. That was approximately 1,000, and this is closer to 0, and this here is 20,000. So 0, 1,000, 20,000. I think you get the picture. So logarithmic allows us to see price action over a long period of time in which there's been a large amount of price movement. So basically from 0 to 20,000, that's a lot of price movement to look at all in one chart. So logarithmic is the way to do so. And through the magic of my very low-tech display here, I'm just aiming the camera at the screen, but I'm going to flip through a few slides here. So this is, of course, the main chart, and then here we have depicted the end of 2011, Christmas of 2011, and that was a momentary top on the Bitcoin chart. And there was a pullback after that, and when it did retake that high, it made a new high, and it kind of did that again. It pulled back, and then when it pulled out from that point at exactly the next Christmas, the Bitcoin bull market was born, essentially. I've been following it since 2011, so far before even this chart, but this is when the public first heard about Bitcoin and first noticed, and wow, something happened. So at the end of 2012 there, something really happened and something changed, and Bitcoin has never been back to any of those price levels ever again. And after another high during the year and a pullback again, a U-shaped recovery, and once it broke out from those levels. It went to a new high, and then at Christmas, it was just after that peak there, the second peak there is basically the end of the year of 2013. And that was that 1,000, I think 1,100 or so Bitcoin level that was the high for a very long time. And then we had that long pullback over 2014. At the end of the year, at Christmas, exactly, was that strange crash down to $150 or something like that, right way down to this old previous level. Pullbacks don't always come back down to the old level, but this one did. It was a big one, and that was 2014. And then 2015, the end of 2015 falls here. It's not that interesting. We were still recovering. There was no real interesting thing to point out there. The next thing was here at the end of 2016. We hit that old high of 1,100 or whatever it was, and from there, the next Christmas falls here at the top. That was 20,000. Do you remember that? It was at Christmas time, and just all these things within a week of Christmas and New Year's every time. And then, as you can see here, we have this Christmas, which is in a couple of weeks. So are we approximately at a turning point in the Bitcoin market? It almost always, except for here, I guess, it almost always was a major, major turning point. Usually it was a top or a bottom of the market. Is it such again? And if so, is something like that what we can expect? A recovery similar to this? Since the move down has been a little bit faster than last time and not as deep, it might be that the recovery is not as long, it doesn't take as long, and we're going to get back to that 20,000 level. Could that be within a year? Is 2019 the recovery year for the cryptocurrency market? Of course, we don't know. This could go further down. I haven't drawn in what that could be, but this could come back down to this level here, 1,100 or so. Some people are saying that that hasn't been tested again, so maybe that needs to happen. The Bitcoin market, I feel, has overreacted. It has oversold. But that is how Bitcoin works. It does overreact and it does oversell. So it can go even further. It can go down below 3,000. We're at 3,400 right now. And it just isn't showing any real bump. It isn't showing any real recovery. It's not showing a sign of strength that the bulls are back. So at least not at this moment. But in a couple of weeks, maybe around Christmas time or maybe New Year's or so, is that when, looking back, is that when we were going to say, oh, okay, that was the turning point? We don't know. But that's just one possible outcome that could happen. And it's just one way that we could get back to that 20,000 level. And I think that is going to happen. I think that ultimately cryptocurrencies are headed higher. This is not the end. I mean, you hear people saying stuff like, should I sell all my cryptocurrencies? Was it a fad? Was it a joke? Was it a trick? I don't think it was. I think that cryptocurrencies are kind of going to be in our future. And, for better or for worse, it's good to understand them. It's good to look at them. And that's just what I'm doing here. And I hope this chart has helped a bit. And if you want to stay tuned, I'll be doing more Bitcoin coverage. Of course, other things as well here on the DRutter channel on YouTube, Facebook, and Steemit. Thanks, guys. Talk to you again soon. And have a Merry Christmas and Happy Solstice.